All right, so this is the test review. So these want to say to perform the indicated operation and simplify. So for these here, number one, I'm just going to multiply straight across. 6 times 3 is 18. X squared times x, you add the exponents, so that's x to the third. And we have a z to the fourth. On the bottom, 7 times 4 is 28. We have an x, y to the fourth, and y to the first. You add those exponents, y to the fifth. Then we have a z squared. And then last, we're just going to simplify it. 18 over 28, if you can't do that in your head, you can always reduce it in the calculator, but let's see what that is. And we get 9 over 14. And then over here, we have x cubed divided by x to the first. We subtract the power, so 3 minus 2 is 1, so that's x squared to the positive there. There's the y. You see the y in the bottom, so I'm going to leave y to the fifth on the bottom. And then z to the fourth over z squared is going to be z squared. And again, if there was any negative exponents, I would have moved them to the bottom, but this is my final answer. All right, for the next one, when it's division, you're going to flip the second one over, and then you're going to multiply. So we get a squared over 12b to the fourth c squared times this one flipped over. All right, let's multiply straight across. We have the 16 only. A squared times a to the first would be a to the third, and then we have b to the third. 12 times 4 is 48. We have an a to the fifth. Let's see, we have b to the fourth, and we have c squared, c to the fourth, so c to the sixth. All right, 16 over 48 reduces to 1/3. 3 minus 2 is negative. Sorry, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and then the c to the 6 stays there. And last thing, we see we have these negative exponents, so the a and the b go to the bottom, so we leave the 1 at the top, and it's going to become 3a squared b and c to the 6th. Let me just verify that everything I did is correct. Looks good. Yeah, no issues. All right, let's take a look at number 3. So for number 3, what we're going to do first before we start canceling things out is we need to factor it. So for the first one, I see there's a GCF of 7x. And that's going to leave me with x plus 7. On the bottom right, x squared plus 14x plus 49 is x plus 7 squared, but I'm going to write that out twice. For this one, let's do this bottom one, x plus 5, x minus 5. This is the difference of 2 squares. This one I will do the x method so you can kind of see the work. Every time there's an a value, I always just verify that I'm doing it correctly. A times c is negative 100, and then we're dividing by 4. I know 20 times 5 is 100, so there should be a negative there. So negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5, so that's going to be x minus 5. And this one can't reduce, so we bring the 4 in front of the x, so 4x plus 5. Then we start from the top left, see if we have any common factors. No 7 I can reduce, or no x I can cancel out. But I do see that I have an x plus 7, so let's go ahead and cross those out, just 1 to 1. I do see an x minus 5, and that's actually all I see. Nothing else is in common. So on the top we have 7x times 4x plus 5 over x plus 7 times x plus 5. All right, on to the next problem. Again, we just want to factor everything. So x plus 2, x plus 1, x plus 3, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus 4, x plus 1. All right, so let's see what we have common on the top and the bottom. So I see x plus 2, I see x plus 1, x plus 3, and x plus 4. So everything canceled out, so therefore my remaining answer should be just the value of 1. Whoops, sorry. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Number 5. Now, this one is division, so I'm going to factor this one. X plus 3, x minus 3 over x squared times, and I'm going to flip this over. And when I flip it over, I'm going to factor a couple of things. Like this one is going to move to the top, so I see I can factor out that x. And this one, when I move it to the bottom, I can factor that. But, so I'm going to factor out this rewrite, so you see what I'm doing. So I just flipped it over. Now, in this one, factors to x plus 3, x plus 4, and this factors to x plus 4, x minus 3. Alright, now we're just going to cancel out our common factors, so I do see x minus 3, I see x plus 4, and I can cancel out 1x to 1x. So on the top, we have x plus 3 twice, so I'm going to write x plus 3 squared over x. On to number 6. So for number 6, again we have this division, so I'm going to factor this, x plus 5, x plus 4, difference of 2 squares, square root of that is x, the square root of that is 2, 1 positive, 1 negative. Multiply, we're going to flip this over so this will come to the top, and this will go to the bottom. So this one I can factor x plus 4, x minus 3. Again, whenever I see an a value that's not 1, I do the x method just to verify I'm doing it correctly. 3 times 4 is 12. So this will be negative 6, negative 2. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. And this does not reduce, so 3x minus 2. Common factors, let's see, I have an x plus 4. I have an x minus 2. That appears to be it. So on the top I have x plus 5 times 3x minus 2 over x plus 2, x minus 3. Alright, moving to the next one. Alright, now we're getting into the addition and subtraction one. So adding and subtracting. First thing you need to do is identify the LCD. So that will require you to factor, and then after you factor it, find your LCD and then start getting the common denominator. Alright, so I'm going to factor this one, the 2x plus 18, I factor out of 2. This one, x plus 9, x plus 4. So for my LCD, what do they have in common? I can see they have this x plus 9 in common. And what's not in common is x plus 4 and 2. So here's my LCD. This is what they must have in common so that I can add them or subtract them. So the first one, I see it has the 2 and it has the x plus 9. It's missing the x plus 4. So I multiply the top and the bottom of the fraction by x plus 4. The second one has x plus 9 and x plus 4. We see that it's missing the 2, so we multiply the top and the bottom by 2. So for this one, we're going to distribute. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 4 is 20 over the LCD, plus x times 2 is 2x, and 2 times 4 is 8 over the LCD. Now I can combine my like terms. 5x plus 2x is 7x. 20 plus 8 is 28 over the LCD. Then I can factor out a 7 because that's the greatest common factor. So 7 times x plus 4 over the LCD of 2 times x plus 9 times x plus 4. And hopefully at this point you see they do have the x plus 4s in common, so I cross those out. My final answer would be 7 over 2 times x plus 9. Alright, on to the next one. First thing I notice is there's a minus sign, so I change that to plus, and I flip all the signs on the top right numerator. Okay, for the LCD, factor this one, x plus 5, x minus 5. So for my LCD, what do they have in common? I see they have x plus 5 in common. What's not in common is this x minus 5. So when you look at the first fraction, you see that it has the x plus 5, but it's missing the x minus 5, so I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by x minus 5. The second one has the full LCD, so it doesn't need to be multiplied by anything. So let's go ahead and distribute the 2. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 5 is minus 10 over the LCD plus negative 3 over the LCD. So negative 10 plus negative 3 is going to be negative 13. And when I look at this right there, I can tell that 2x and 13 have nothing in common, so I'm going to write the LCD of x plus 5 and x minus 5, and that appears to be my final answer. that's it. All right, on to the next one. All right, for this one, again, we have that minus sign, so we change to a plus and flip the signs here. So for my LCD, nothing can actually be factored here. These have nothing in common, so what's not in common is x plus 3 times x plus 4. So here, if you look at the first fraction, it has x plus 3, it needs the x plus 4, so we multiply the top and the bottom by that. The second one has x plus 4, but it needs the x plus 3. All right, so for the first one, we're going to distribute the 4. So 4x plus 16 over the LCD plus negative 2 times x is negative 2x, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 over the LCD. 4x plus negative 2x, or 4x minus 2x is 2x. 16 minus 6 is 10 over the LCD. And last thing I notice, I can factor out a 2. And the LCD is x plus 3, x plus 4. And that's your final answer. All right, number 10, we have a complex fraction here. All right, so I'll do the top one first, so I'm going to put that over 1. LCD, 2x minus 1, they have nothing in common. What's not in common is that. So we would have to multiply this top by 2x minus 1 on the top and the bottom. So for this one, we have, sorry, let me move that here. We have 3x over 2x minus 1 plus, now we're going to take this negative 2 and multiply it. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 over the LCD of 2x minus 1. And then from here we can combine them. 3x minus 4x is negative x. All right. On the bottom, for this one, we can see that the LCD, let's see what we have here. This is 4x, and so they have nothing in common, so it's 4x times 2x minus 1. So this one will be multiplied by 4x on the top and the bottom. This one will be multiplied by 2x minus 1. And I will flip this sign. Okay. So let's go ahead and multiply here. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And this one's longer, so I'm just going to write LCD. Plus negative x times 4x is negative 4x squared over the LCD. And then let's see what this comes to. So we get negative 4x squared plus 10x minus 5 over the LCD. And this time I'll put the 2x times 2x minus 1. All right, now at this point here, I'm going to flip it and multiply it. So let's see if I can do this in a different color. So this one right here, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm actually going to factor out that negative 1, see if that changes. So negative 1, we have x minus 2 over 2x minus 1 times, and I'm going to flip this one over. So 2x times 2x minus 1 over. Now this one right here, I'm going to factor out a negative 1. So I'm going to kind of do some work on the side right here. So we're going to factor out that negative 1, leaving this with 4x squared minus 10x plus 5. I'm just going to see if I can factor this or not. Negative 10 on the top. 4 times 5 is 20 divided by 2. Sorry, 4. So what two numbers add to negative 10 and multiply to 20 if possible? We have 1 and 20, which doesn't work. 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Yeah, nothing factors, so this is actually finalized. So we have this negative 1, 4x squared minus 10x plus 5. Now I'm going to look for common factors I can cross out. I can cross out this 2x here, 2x minus 1, and I can cross out these negative 1s. So then my final answer appears to be, on the top we have 2x times x minus 2 over the bottom, 4x squared minus 10x plus 5. All right, so that's number 10. All right, now we're going on to the solving, and I'll actually read these directions. It says, solve the following rational equations, show all work, give both the solutions and the domain restrictions. Okay. Alright, so for the first one, let's see, we have a non-fraction here, so we're going to put the 2 over 1. So for my LCD, they have nothing in common, and what's not in common is x minus 3. For my domain restriction, x cannot equal 3 minus 3 is 0, so that cannot be 3. Alright, so we're going to put the LCD above each one. And it's really multiplying to the numerator. And then we're going to look to see if we can cancel out in common factors on the top and the bottom. So I have x minus 3 and 2 at the top, but a 1, so nothing cancels. Here we can cross out the x minus 3's. And we'll multiply. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 minus 6 equals just x plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the x over to the other side. And at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and add the 6 to the other side. 2x minus x is x. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. X minus x is 0. 2 plus 6 is 8. X equals 8. X cannot equal 3. It checks out to be correct. There's my answer. All right, for the next one, in terms of the LCD, first we're going to put these non-fractions over 1 to make them fractions. LCD, what do they have in common? Well, I see 2 of them have an x, and that's it. And the 1 doesn't matter. So my domain restriction, x cannot equal, what makes that 0 is 0. All right, now we're going to add the LCD above each one. So times x, times x, times x, times x. Cross out our common factors. So the first one, nothing cancels. The second one, the x's cancel. The third one, again, the x's cancel. And the fourth one, nothing cancels. So for this one here, 1 times x is x, just plus 6, equals 2x minus 4. And then we have 3 times x is 3x. So now we have x plus 6 equals 2x plus 3x is 5x minus 4. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and subtract the x to the right side and add the 4 to the other. So when I do this here, x minus x is 0, 6 plus 4 is 10. 5x minus x is going to be 4x, and the negative 4, positive 4 cancel. So to solve this, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And 10 divided by 4 is going to be 5 halves. You can verify the restriction, x cannot equal 0, and that answer should be good. All right, for the next one, again, LCD. And we can see they actually have x minus 3 in common. So therefore, my domain restriction, x cannot equal to 3, because that makes the denominator 0. We put x minus 3 above each fraction. And since they both have that, we're going to cross them out. And now we come up with x squared minus 5 equals to 4. So to solve this, we're going to go ahead and add the 5 to the other side. So x squared is equal to 9. We're going to take the square root, and don't forget when you put the square root, you take plus or minus. The square root of 9 is going to be positive 3 and negative 3. But when we check our restrictions, it says x cannot equal 3, so this answer is extraneous. My only answer is x equals negative 3. All right, on to the next problem. There's that one again, in case you didn't see it. All right, here's this one here. Right there. Okay, so for number 16, again, I see this minus sign, so we'll make that a plus and flip that sign on the top right. This one can be factored into difference of 2 squares, 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. All right, so for my LCD, 2 of them have 2x minus 1, 2 of them have 2x plus 1. So that's actually everything. Domain restrictions, what can x not equal? So if I set those equal to 0, add the 1, divide by 2, x cannot equal 1/2, x cannot equal negative 1/2. If you want to put plus or minus, that's really your choice. So now we're going to put the domain restriction above each one. All right, now we're going to cancel things out. So here, 2x minus 1's cancel, 2x plus 1 cancels, and everything cancels, except for the top. All right, so this one, x times 2x is 2x squared. X times 1 is x. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 equals x squared plus 20. Now, since I have a square term, I'm going to attempt to move everything to the same side, but I notice I can combine, so this would be 2x squared. X minus 4x is negative 3x plus 2 equals x squared plus 20. Now I'm going to move everything to the same side as the 2x squared. So subtract the x squared, subtract the 20. So we come up with x squared minus 3x minus 18 is equal to 0. When you factor this, x minus 6, x plus 3 equals 0. So my solutions when I said equal to 0 are x equals 6, x equals negative 3. My restrictions say x cannot equal 1/2 or negative 1/2, so both answers should be fine. All right, on to number 17. Again, we're going to factor this first. So here I can factor out an x, giving me x minus 2. And that's all I can factor, actually. So for my LCD, 2 of them have an x, 2 of them have an x minus 2. My domain restrictions would be x cannot equal, what makes this 0 is 0, and 2 minus 2 is 0, so x cannot equal 2. All right, it's going to put this above each one. So x times x minus 2 above each one. So for the first one, everything cancels. Second one, the x's cancel. And for the last one, x minus 2 cancels. All right, I'm going to distribute. So 10 is on the top. Plus 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Equals 5 times x is 5x. 10 minus 8 is 2. I'm going to go ahead and subtract this 4x over. And we get x is equal to positive 2. But your restriction says that x cannot equal to 2. So when I cross this out, there's no answer. So that's going to be a no solution. All right. And then for this last one here, this factors to x plus 3, x minus 3. So my LCD, they both have, 2 of them have x plus 3, 2 of them have x minus 3. Domain restriction, x cannot equal negative 3 or positive 3. So we're going to put the LCD above each one. So in the last one, everything cancels. The second to last one, x plus 3, and the first one, x minus 3. So for this one, 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then we have 2x plus 2. 4x plus 2x is 6x. 12 minus 6 is 6. All right, I'm going to subtract the 2x to the other side. I'm going to subtract the 6 to the other side. So we get 4x equals to negative 4. Divide by 4. X equals negative 1. Check your domain restrictions. Your answer is good.